Hey everyone, Chris here for Thomann Guitars and Basses. In today's Guitar Tech Tips, we take a close look at the Hardtailer by Guitar Guard, which is supposed to be the most stable trem blocker of all times. There are quite a few products with which you can temporarily block your floating bridge, and we've shown two really cool options here on the channel already. One was the Tremol-no and the other the tremor-re. If you want to learn more about those, I'll put a link in the description box under this video. You can check them out. They're really interesting and relevant. You can, of course, figure out if those are the right products for you or not. This here, the Hardtailer, well, they claim that you have none of the drawbacks of those other whichever products, just the pros basically, which means that there's no clicky metallic sound. The tremolo feels as smooth as before the installation, so it doesn't affect your normal floating tremolo usage at all if it's disengaged. And if it's engaged, it's rock solid because it clicks in and it's super stable. Nothing wobbles, nothing moves around, nothing clicks around. You don't lose a screw, and you have plenty space inside the cavity where it goes to engage or disengage it. You can already tell that it has two modes. One is the standard floating mode. When it's out of the way, you don't even realize that it's on the guitar. Or if you move this top segment to the front and it clicks in that hole, it's touching the back side of, well, the front side of the tremolo block, and it doesn't let you pull the arm up. So it's a dive only function in this mode. The only thing that you need to know about this is that unlike with the tremol-no or the tremor-re, you will have to drill some holes in the guitar. So that's the only thing. That means that you will have to slightly modify the guitar, which is mainly only important if you ever plan to sell that instrument. Today, I want to put this on my Harley Benton Fusion 2, which I modified already heavily with the active electronics, so I don't mind a few more holes. It's gonna go right in there between the springs. Now, before you start with the installation, you need to tune your guitar. You have to have the right setup. I'm talking about the neck and obviously the tremolo. It needs to be set up the same way you want to have the guitar being blocked, right? Because if you drop tune your guitar, the tremolo will stay exactly as it is right now. So it needs to be set up well to begin with, obviously. I will remove the arm so that doesn't change the way the tremolo sits on the bottom when I turn the guitar upside down. First things first, I'll move the top part of the Hardtailer to the front in its tremolo blocking position, then put it in the cavity between the springs. For that, I had to move the middle spring one to the bottom, so I have space for the Hardtailer. Then I put it in the cavity in a way that this bronze head touches the tremolo ever so slightly. Then when I'm happy with the position, I mark at least those two holes that I can access and then drill those two holes. I use a 1.5mm drill bit for that. Now I can tighten those two screws, and for the other two, I can now remove the middle spring, which is normally in the way. That way I get access to those two other holes. I can mark those, drill them, and tighten those two screws as well. Once the Hardtailer is in its position and all four screws are tight, you can put back the middle spring on the trem. In case you need to fine adjust the Hardtailer to touch the trem block, there's a screw at the front with those little holes. You can put any smaller Allen key in there and turn it until it touches it and blocks it perfectly. And now it's time for a test ride. So my first impression of the Hardtailer. Let's start with the pros. It's super stable, so if you block the trem from going up, which is the dive only mode, it's rock solid. It's nothing rattling and nothing will get loose. It clicks in, there's a pin inside a metal hole, it's gonna stay there, it's really stable, so that's awesome. Really easy installation, which is really cool. It's also a pro for sure. And let's talk about the cons. First of all, it's not a huge con, but I was kind of wishing that there is some kind of an installation guide in the package itself. There's nothing in it, but they have the website on the back side of the package, and they explain everything. There are pictures there, how to do it, there are like videos and everything. So it's a really easy install and you get your information. You just have to go online for that. Another con is that only has two options or two modes. It has the float mode where it doesn't influence the tremolo at all, and the dive only where you cannot pull the trem bar up, you can just push it down. There are just two modes, there's no third, like full blocking mode. If you're into that, this is probably not the right gear for you, but other than that, those two options are without any cons, which is the strength of the product. See you down there in the comments below. Let me know what you think about the Hardtailer, and yeah, as always, don't be afraid of setting up and fixing your guitars yourself. It's time to become your own guitar tech. Now comes the actual work.